Hey everybody, welcome back to the Daily Game here on Gambit Digital, the show that's not always daily because we can't be bothered to fake interest since there is no such thing as gaming journalism. On today's episode, we have some cool news with regards to another brand new console, brand new retro console. Now, we've made a ton of videos in the past about Atari's whatever console, I can't even remember the name of it, that was supposed to come out last year, that hasn't come out, that was vaporware, then there was real, but then it was just lights in a box, and who knows when that whole thing, it could be out by the time I'm talking about this, I don't even know. But following along that line, we have another retro company back in the mix, and this time it's Intellivision. So what we found out today is that Intellivision Entertainment has now announced that the Intellivision Amico, don't actually know how to say it, is coming soon. It is going to drop. It has an actual street date of October 10th, 2020. So we're going to have to wait a little while for this one. But they just released a reveal trailer detailing a few things that we need to know. Now, they want to make it well known that this is a family-friendly console that will have its own exclusive games. I'm not sure what it means by family-friendly console. That could mean anything. I assume that's probably some sort of marketing code word for Android in a box. That's just my guess. But what we know so far is that the Intellivision Amico is going to run anywhere between about $150 to $180 bucks. That's not insane, but it is fairly pricey. We know it's going to drop in 2020. And because this is a family-friendly console, of course, they are building the machine so that everything on the platform is going to be rated E for everyone, or E10 plus at the max. So this is not a games platform like, say, the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4 or even the Nintendo Wii. There is no games that are going to be E10 and up or above E10 plus, which means parents won't have to worry if they buy this console. But it also concerns me since we know from experience that rated E for everyone games probably aren't the most boundary-pushing games in general in terms of story and mechanics and such. But that said, this is a nice idea for young gamers and parents that want to get in on a console and not have to worry. Now, all of the games you're going to be able to buy for the Amico are download only, so you're not going to have to buy any carts, you're not going to have to go out to the store and do anything like that. Each game is going to run between $3 and $8, and none of the high-priced DLC or in-game purchases are going to be in any of these games. They're not going to allow it. So when you purchase a game, it's going to be complete. That's pretty cool, because when you hear $3 to $8, which is incredibly low, you automatically assume kind of the mobile market, so you assume you're going to be nickel and dime for everything. That isn't the case here with the Intellivision Amico. It's going to launch with a couple of pre-installed games. Of course, because this is Intellivision, those games are going to be classic ones, and they say there's about 20 of them, both reimagined classics and brand new titles through the Intellivision online store. So you're going to get a lot of things you probably already know, probably done in 3D or something more along the lines of modern mobile gaming. We know they're going to feature updated graphics, modern audio, all that sorts of stuff. And right now, the games that have been listed are Astro Smash, Shark, Baseball, Night Stalker, Skiing, Math Fun, probably not that fun, Pong, Asteroids, Centipede, Tempest Adventure, Missile Command, Swords and Serpents, Miner 2049er, Super Burger Time Awesome, Toe Jam and Earl, and there will be more. That's pretty cool news coming out of Amico. Now, for the technical specs, we know a little bit about it, but the actual guts and internals have not been revealed, although we have seen concept images and renderings. It's a white device. Personally, it looks like some sort of medical device that you would see at a doctor's office. It has two controllers. They are what looks to be wireless, and they are very reminiscent of the original Intellivision controllers. This means they have that round push-button dial, and they have the number pad. But where the number pad would be has been replaced with the screen. So if you look at them from the concept images on screen, you can see they kind of look like two iPod Touches with a giant click wheel on them, which is kind of interesting and a little bit concerning. If anyone remembers the Intellivision, you know that those controllers were pretty terrible when compared to something as simplistic and elegant at the time as the Atari 2600. I would have been much more comfortable with, still keeping the design aesthetic of those controllers, but a D-pad and a couple of buttons. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but it does lend credence to the idea that this is going to be some sort of mobile operating system platform kind of thing, where most of the stuff is going to be done on the touchscreen. And because of that, it does lead to some possibilities if developers can get creative. Again, we don't know the inside. We know that, Wi-Fi and Ethernet is going to be on there. There's going to be HDMI video support. You get a bunch of USB ports. And they say there is a system expansion interface. We don't know what that means, but it looks like that's going to hopefully keep the system going so you can add on something along the lines, maybe RAM upgrades, maybe something like that. Who knows? The specs, of course, are being silent, but the people behind the product, Intellivision themselves, say that it is a state-of-the-art 21st century 2D image processing and graphics capability, which is going to be in this thing. That's a lot of mumbo-jumbo for we don't really know right now, but it's going to be probably an off-the-shelf chip. So, on top of that, you have online functionality, of course, because you have access to everything being downloaded through the Intellivision store, which means you're going to get multiplayer on games. Most likely, because this is geared towards kids, you're not going to have the same kind of robust multiplayer as you would on Xbox One. Probably something more along the lines of the Nintendo Switch, but I think a lot of the focus is going to be on online leaderboards, especially for some of these old classic games, because that was the reason for these old games. You didn't play them to beat them, you play them for the story. You played them so you can get on that high score list. Of course, you're going to get two Bluetooth controllers that we talked about a little bit. Each features, of course, a color touchscreen. Inside, much like most phones, is a gyroscope and accelerometer, including 4-speed back speaker and microphone. So essentially, it's a base console, what it looks like, and you have two essential cell phones almost, mid-range probably cell phones serving as the controllers, and that could be interesting for that price point. To be honest, what I would have liked to see, I like the concept and idea of what they're going for with the controller, but I would have loved something like the base station, if you could buy it individually without the controllers, because it does look interesting, and actually use your own Android or iOS device as the controller, since you have everything there. Now, Intellivision themselves have come out with a statement saying, we are creating a console that parents want to buy, not that they were asked to buy. That's an interesting statement to make, because kids are usually the ones saying, hey, mom and dad, buy me this console because all my friends have it, because my favorite game is on there, whatever the reason may be. And this goes way back. I remember being a kid as well. The Sega, Nintendo, TurboGrafx 16 debates of the time. You bought what all your friends had, or you bought what was really popular in the magazines at the time. Parents didn't usually go out and want to buy a video game console unless they themselves were players. So that's going to be interesting to see. No words when this is going to be kind of demoed or featured, but there were news and details kind of a little bit about this back at E3 in 2018, so because of the 2020 release date, we can probably expect a display or some sort of floor feature at next summer's E3, if anything earlier at CES 2019 when we're there as well, since Atari was also at the last CES, even though there was just a box with a light in it. So we hope that they bring it out at one of those big trade shows coming up, which CES is in January, so that's only a couple of months away. So that's the big news for today, which is pretty interesting, that more retro consoles and companies are coming into this mix. We were at the point where new consoles were a rarity outside of the big three, but it looks like a lot of smaller companies are now getting into the market, where once it was, hey, here's a cheap Chinese Android box, good luck, you can play some of your mobile games on it, but there's no real point since you have a phone, to now where it's getting more and more affordable to actually create some sort of dedicated console that does one thing very well. And if this is garnered towards kids, I can see a lot of parents and grandparents, especially if it stays around that $150 price point, going, hey, this is a new video game console. Video games are cool. Why don't we get this for insert kid, insert grandkid here for Christmas, and they'll think we're cool. And to be fair, I'd think they're cool if they bought that for me too. Would it be my main console? Well, probably not, but I'd still think that's an interesting and cool gift at the time. So let us know what you think in the comments below about this new Intellivision Amico, whatever they are calling it. And if you're interested in picking one up. So that's it for us today. If you like this content, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. That's the best thing you can do to get more news. And head over to our website, gambitmag.com, for daily content, or our Facebook page, where we release stuff every couple of hours throughout the day to keep you informed on all things video games. So until next time, we'll catch you guys later. Have a great day. Bye-bye.